Welcome to Amazing 7, and today we are counting down our picks for the top 7 stunning ancient ruins to explore in 2024. A new year always brings a whisper of hope and a promise of better things to come. 2024 might just be the year to leave all the negativity behind and stand in awe at the best of what our planet has to offer, including the stunning ancient ruins of long-gone civilizations that have yet to reveal all their secrets. These are the 7 stunning ancient ruins to explore in 2024. Number 7. Sarmizegetusa Regia, Romania. High in the Orăștie Mountains, guarded by ancient beech trees, lies the ruins of the capital of the ancient Dacian kingdom, Sarmizegetusa Regia. In the capital's heyday, the Dacian people inhabited the space between the Carpathian Mountains and the area west of the Black Sea. Sarmizegetusa Regia was a cultural, military, and religious center with a massive fortress sprawling over 5 terraces. Several temples and sanctuaries were built inside the capital, while the residential sections were added below the citadel. The homes were built on terraces and had running water supplied by an intricate system of ceramic pipes. Today, there are more poems and stories about the Dacians than what remains of their beautiful capital. However, some of the massive stone walls of the fortress can still be seen, as well as andesite column bases and the remains of the temple bases. Number 6. Kerma, Sudan. The ruins of the Kingdom of Kerma were first excavated during the 1920s, and archaeologists believed at the time that the metropolis once served as a fort for an Egyptian governor. These days, archaeologists believe that the King of Kerma was one of the earliest kingdoms in Africa and was valued because of its positioning on multiple caravan routes. Over many years of excavation, Kerma has been considered a significant archaeological site in ancient Nubia, today's northern Sudan and southern Egypt. Several thousand graves and homes have been uncovered during excavation expeditions, of which most are believed to have been abandoned as the water level in the Nile decreased. Artifacts uncovered include blue faience and other types of pottery. Burial mounds at the site's southern boundary are said to hold the remains of the kings. The Kerma culture thrived in the upper Nubia region, and the kingdom eventually incorporated the Sai Kingdom of Sudan, after which the kingdom became populous enough to rival neighboring Egypt. Egypt eventually destroyed Kerma under the rule of Thutmose I and annexed Nubia. Number 5. Volubilis. Well-preserved Roman structures can be found worldwide, with one of the best preserved ruins, Volubilis, located in Morocco. Volubilis arose when the cities of Meknes and Fez formed part of Mauritania and were the hub of all things admin within the Kingdom of Mauritania. Some of the buildings added during the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD are still visible today, and it is believed that Volubilis once held more than 20,000 people. Successful olive production provided wealth, which is reflected in what remains of the city's grand dwellings and stunning mosaics. However, tensions rose over political dissent, and a revolt started in AD 40. Temporary calming measures in the form of citizenship and a no-tax rule were implemented, but the Romans had no choice but to withdraw from Volubilis in AD 285. The stunning buildings in Volubilis were destroyed during the Lisbon earthquake in the 18th century, and the ruins were added to the UNESCO World Heritage Site list in 1997. Number 4. Merv the Great, Turkmenistan. The ancient city of Merv, or Merv the Great, was first occupied around 3000 BC. During 500 to 600 BC, several cities were built here as part of the First Persian Empire. For a short time, Merv was known as Alexandria, after Alexander the Great allegedly visited the place. Experts, however, believe the name changed after Alexander the Great campaigned to overthrow the First Persian Empire. After Alexander died, the city became the capital of Marjana, after which it was under the rule of the Sasanian Empire and became the center of religious learning. By 1037, Merv had around 500,000 permanent inhabitants. By 1221, the son of Genghis Khan invaded Merv, and around 1 million inhabitants were killed. By 1789, the last people living in the city were removed, and Merv was destroyed. Today, the remains of Merv stand in an archaeological park. Some of the buildings that remain were used for housing and farming. One of the most memorable ruins is that of the fortress built along with the first city that stood in Merv. Number 3. Fatehpur Sikri, India. Fatehpur Sikri, also known as the City of Victory, was established during the latter half of the 16th century and included several temples and monuments. The ruins of Fatehpur Sikri still hold one of the largest mosques in India, namely the Jama Masjid. The ruins are some of the most intact in the world and also hold the remains of stunning pools, well-laid gardens, and even a harem. The smallest structure inside the complex is the Rumi Sultana Palace, which has beautiful and intricately carved columns. Fatehpur Sikri was once the Mughal capital and was eventually abandoned when its water sources ran dry. Number 2. Aquae Sulis, England. The waters of Sulis, or Aquae Sulis, was a Roman town in Britannia and stood in the place where Bath is today. Aquae Sulis was also the location of one of the largest Roman baths in Britain and was dedicated to the goddess Sulis. It was the physical representation of the blending of the Roman and Celtic cultures and merged Sulis with Minerva, the Roman goddess of wisdom. The hot spring at Aquae Sulis was supposedly to be a gateway to the otherworld because the source of its heat could not be determined. The Celts erected shrines to Sulis at the site of the spring, believing it would allow them to speak with the goddess. When the Romans took over control of the area, they used the spring to introduce the Celts to the Roman way of doing things. They transformed the hot spring into a Roman bath complex, which started the merging process of the goddesses Minerva and Sulis. Inside the bath complex, several pools were built, as well as exercise and changing rooms. The ruins of the Roman bath complex are well preserved and are one of Bath's greatest attractions. While it is not possible to bathe in the water here anymore, there is a museum on the premises that holds magnificent artifacts. Number 1. Polonnaruwa, Sri Lanka. Polonnaruwa was established as the capital of Sri Lanka in AD 993 after Anuradhapura was destroyed. It was built by King Parakramabahu I and holds several ruins, temples, and palaces. The Polonnaruwa kingdom also housed many civilizations over hundreds of years, including the Buddhist Sinhalese and the Cholas. The royal palace built here between 1153 and 1186 consisted of 50 rooms. Today, many walls still stand, and gorgeous animal sculptures still dot the area. The oldest Hindu temple in the region can also be visited and is a huge tourist attraction. Other attractions of this impressive site are the monks' quarters, a dagoba, the Vatadaj relic house, and a huge Buddha statue. More ancient structures include the quadrangle, various statues, and tombs. The quadrangle is a group of concentrated ruins that are considered sacred.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out other clips of Amazing 7 and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified our latest videos.